Hi, everyone. My name is Carla Moha, and I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Oregon and a business and accounting teacher. And I'm here to show you using XBert intelligence as an AI tool for accountants. And you'll notice their website address is xbert.io, so not .com. And nice play on words there with XBert intelligence in their name there. So if you log on to this website, you'll get to this screen where they do allow a free trial, which is really nice. Um, and you'll notice the software that they're compatible with, they have listed down here. You'll see Intuit QuickBooks here, but they also have Xero and a couple of others listed. And I would suggest inquiring with them if you have a different accounting software that you want to work with their product. You'll also see there is chat available here. If you click on it, you can get some help with their products that way as well. So I suggest starting a free trial if you want to try out their tool and try their free trial. I have already signed up for that. So what I'm going to do is log in and show you a little bit about what it does and how to use it. So I'm going to go to the login screen here, and it will come up and I'm going to log in, but you'll notice when it comes up here, it depends on how I set up my free trial. You can sign in with Google, or if you have a Xero accounting software that you're using, you can sign in with that, or you can sign in with Intuit or an email and password. I set mine up to sign up with Intuit because I wanted to demonstrate this using QuickBooks Online software. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Intuit. I will let you know that I have an accountant account or view when I am in QuickBooks. So this is not a student version. This is more from an accountant who may have various clients that they are assisting. And so I'm going to go ahead and put in my information here and get that going. And QuickBooks is always really good about making things secure. So they are going to make me secure this before I can log in. I went ahead and verified my account here with QuickBooks and was able to log in here. So it is loading here. And I will warn you that I have previously interfaced this with my QuickBooks. When you start your free trial, you can interface it with the accounting software that's compatible. And again, I chose QuickBooks Online here. And what I did was I it syncs with your QuickBooks and it pulls in your QuickBooks files. What's cool is you can choose which clients to pull in. So as a teacher, I have many clients that are actually student um, files that they set up. And that's really good for demonstration. These are not real companies. These are student files that are used. And I also had a demonstration file, the one I have here, Carla Island Video Productions. But you'll see it has listed under all clients. And so this software, the purpose of this software is that it pulls in your clients, whichever ones you choose, which right now I've only chosen a couple clients to bring in for demonstration purposes, but I had a list of many clients that I could have brought in. But I brought these couple in, and you'll see here, you can bring more clients in, just so you know. And you start off here. There's a lot to this program. I suggest clicking around a lot and kind of learning it a little bit, but you're also here learning it a little bit. And again, this is a free trial, so you're not going to be an expert after this, but I did want to demonstrate a bit of it to you. And so what you'll see is I'm going to go ahead and click on my company here that I had, which was Carla Island Video Productions. And so what I did is what this program does is it analyzes that company file in QuickBooks and it analyzes it for irregularities. So this is meant to save time of an accountant because it looks at their finances and picks out anything that should be looked at, again, that may be an irregularity or something that needs to be fixed or looked at. And so if you look at here, it says Carla Island Video Productions, this very top one here says unusually overdue invoice for Arnold Stein, which is 8 days overdue and unusual to be this late. So that tells you Arnold Stein usually pays on time. So this might tell you to go ahead and look at that and make sure that Arnold Stein didn't make a payment that got applied to the wrong account. Maybe he does pay on time and it got applied to a different customer. It might also encourage a company to look in with Arnold Stein and see why he's late, because he's not normally late. Again, maybe he forgot to send it or it got lost in the mail. Um, these are all things that if you were consulting with a company, or even if you were like the financial accountant or accounts receivable of a company, might be things that you should look into. And so what this software does, though, is it saves the time of the person looking at the financial statements. It points these out to you right away without, I haven't even looked at the financials of Carla Island Video Productions yet. I haven't even looked at it at all, and it automatically gives us some things to look at. Now, this does not mean the accountant shouldn't go in and look at this company's files. I'll be honest with you, I would never just rely on this, but this does give you some things to look at right away. All right, so then it says lock date not set. Um, again, that's probably, this is a practice file, so that might not be applicable. But again, these are suggestions. Not every single one of them is going to be something you have to follow up on or should follow up on. Um, but you could, again, or, disregard them if they don't apply. All right. Accounting system getting lonely. Oh, that's funny. I love the way they put that. This was a file that I set up for demonstration purposes for a class. So I haven't used it for a while. Um, and so it makes sense that it says it's getting lonely. That's their nice way of saying that, no one's been in that file for a while really doing anything. And that is true. So I can see this is looking pretty accurate, these comments here. And again, with a practice company, there aren't very many comments. I'll go to another file, which let's see what this file says. This is a file made for Island Video Productions as well, same company, but probably at a different point of entry that my demonstration company was completely finished. This is probably a partial one that I used in class. So you can see this one has a lot more suggestions to it. It's still got that Arnold Stein one because again, these companies are the same company, but we're at different points. And so let's see here. I can see that they've duplicated some of the comments because both of them are highlighted. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight the one. Same thing, it's saying it's getting lonely because it hasn't been used, but this one has the added one that we have an unusually overdue invoice for the athletic department, Island High School, which is 7 days overdue. So again, an accounts receivable thing, you could follow up with them to see. And so instead of you having to go in and look at this company's accounts receivable, this AI software XBert has done that for you. So you'll see they have categorized some of these items as to what types of items these suggestions are. They're calling these pre-work. Those are, and cleanup is the accounting system getting lonely. So these are just categories. It's telling you with these green checks that it looked at the expenses and didn't notice anything in the expenses, didn't notice anything in the sales area in particular. And so it has categorized the types of suggestions as well. For a company with a lot of suggestions, I really like that because you could concentrate on one area at a time. and one area of the company. So if you were to look at purchases and AP and you had a bunch of suggestions, you can narrow it down to just purchases and AP rather than have all of the suggestions all thrown together on one dashboard here. Now let's look at just a couple other things about this software. This is the screen that opened up when I opened this, when I relogged in with my free trial here. Some of the other things on the menu here, there's this menu. I went to this is the dashboard we're on, but if we go to the menu item above that and you go to client, I'm going to go ahead and we are given all these different choices that you can kind of concentrate on one client. That dashboard there, you can have multiple clients displayed, or you can highlight to have just one or two. But here you can do a more in-depth analysis of a client. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one, provide a review of the profit and loss statements. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on that and we can select a client for that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Carla Island Video Productions and I'm going to do this year and then I'm going to go ahead and have it do that analysis. So this is an area that's kind of cool that it can concentrate on just one company. And I make this warning of do not rely on AI totally. A lot of this information is awesome and useful and will hopefully save accountants time and make them more value added to a company to help them make decisions that will help their company be more profitable. But again, completely relying on it and just assuming everything is always correct, you don't want to do that. My opinion is that you also need the human element in there, but this can sometimes make that quicker, that analysis, or help you make that human element even more useful. So Carla Island Video Productions Profit and Loss Review here shows an introduction to the company here. And I mean, this is crazy. This is a profit and loss review, and it actually wrote an analysis of the company here. It's the analysis below. So it even says it's a video production company. And all right, it shows some variance review and amount accounts of interest. So they've pulled out here from the financials some that you might want to look at. And some analysis here of um, vertical analysis there of the percent of total operating expenses that these different items are. You can see wages expense is quite a large percent for a service-based company, which this is a video one, or a video making company. That makes sense. And it just kind of details some of those and shows some accounts of interest, gross profit review. It looks at the whole year. Again, this is a demonstration company, so there weren't a lot of months to look at, but it's got June in there as the best and the worst month because of only one month of data. But obviously, if we had way more data in there, it would be able to make that determination. So just this is pretty neat. This is an analysis of that company using their AI. All right, with looking at the profit and loss in particular. So you can read through that and you would be able to go to a client and use some of that information. But again, I would not full-heartedly rely on that because you know more about the company as a person and maybe even meeting with their management than what the AI is going to have as their full picture. But this is really good. Okay, so I'm going to X out of that screen. Again, there's all these other things that you can do based on, a particular client. We were back at the work screen here, and there's some different things there. I'm going to go ahead and look at a couple of these other menu items. Here's analytics. And there's a bunch of different reports you can do. Again, I set mine up as an accounting, or I'm the accountant in my QuickBooks software. So I've called it Moha's Accounting because I'm Carla Moha. And so these are the different reports that can be done there. All right. And there's some other really cool things with this software. Again, it would depend on which client's data you choose to upload and look at and what's important to you. Here's kind of a neat one. It shows client insights. Again, I just have those two clients right now set up. There's a place for notes. They've got some templates that you can use for like workflows and to um, assist your clients in how their workflows are going through their accounting processes at their company. Um, and so, anyway, there's lots of different functions of this. I think I've covered the main functions of this, which are to analyze the companies for you and give those tips without you having to spend hours and hours poring over a company's financials. This does that quite quickly and points them out to you. And then so then you can spend your time actually consulting and fixing the problems instead of spending all the hours finding the problems. They've been found for you, and now you spend your time actually fixing the problems, saving those companies money. By fixing any errors they have in their processes, their financials, their payments or their receivables, all those different areas. So hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial here. This is just a free trial, and you'll see mine ends in 8 days. So if it's something that your firm wants to have, or you want to suggest to someone to have, or you want to try it out further, or for whatever reason, you will have to buy the product. And so, and of course, pricing is always fluctuating for things. Um, but there is information here if you click the free trial area there on some different things. Um, to get to some payment plans. But also, sorry, and that's that up here. Also in this area is some video guides, which are really cool. So if you want a more in-depth video of any of the particular items that I went over here, they've made some really nice videos as well that you can get to here. And so I will end the video with here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the pricing plans. Um, it's going to vary a lot, so I hesitate to just say, oh, this is how much it costs, because a lot of times it's going to vary if you do monthly or you do annual, or the size of your company, or how many subscriptions you want, all these different things. You can see here's an example of a micro monthly plan where you don't have very many clients, which is what they assumed with mine, only having the two files there, showing $16.80 per month with an annual cost of $201.60. But you would have to put in the details for them to really accurately estimate your plan. But based on this two clients here, that looks to be what the cost would be. And so you would have to make sure that the cost of that is worth your time in, maybe you do save an hour or two a month only, but maybe that's worth $16.80 a month, especially if you're able to then turn around and actually save your clients money or bring money into their business with the tips that you're getting through here. So, all right, stay tuned for more videos, and thank you for joining. Bye-bye.